Welcome to Blue Talks.
Good afternoon. I'm going to start with a question. Who here, raise your hand, if you've ever felt not heard, not understood, that you're talking to people and they just don't get what it is that you're saying or understanding you, and you get so frustrated when you tell people things like over and over and over again? Okay, most of us. Well, I've got two bits of news for you. The bad news is that's your fault, and the good news is I'm going to show you in 10 minutes how to change that. Let me just move back a little bit. So my name is Debbie Bryan, and I learnt this probably 25 years ago. I was a coach in a call centre, and I had a member of staff who I was trying to teach to do something, and oh my goodness, was he frustrating. I taught him every day, and every day he came back and said, I don't understand. And I was like, whoa, what do you mean you don't understand? And I told him how to do it, and he went away, and then the next day, and the next day. And eventually somebody took me to one side and gave me the best tip, probably, that I could have had as a business coach at that time. They said, you're not speaking his language, you're speaking your language, and you're expecting him to understand you. You need to speak his language. So I was like, okay, I'm making this guy feel pretty bad. I'm not proud of it. I'm pretty sure I was so frustrated. I made him feel intimidated. I probably made him feel awful and scared to come and talk to me. So the next day, we sit down at the desk, and I give him a notepad, and we go through the process again. And I let him write the notes and write the process and write down any questions and stay there for as long as he needed to be there at his pace, at his speed. That guy got that, went away, ran with it. I never, ever had to explain it to him ever again. And I learned the big realization is that you can say something 100 times in your language. If the other person's brain doesn't understand it, you're never going to win. So one of the things that I guess you might have ever felt is going on holiday. Obviously, we're in Europe, so we have a little bit more of the language barrier. And sometimes we go into a restaurant in Spain, and when we ask for the bill, we go, La cuenta, por favor. And the waiter just laughs, and the joy that it brings them that you've made an effort to speak that language, the feeling that that person's got, that you've made an effort to come into their corner, even though they then speak mad Spanish and you don't understand a single thing after that, and it all gets a little bit awkward. It's that sort of joy that makes a difference when you're communicating with people. Now, I've been a coach for 25 years, and I've seen lots of business owners who think that they know what they're doing. They think they know what they're doing. They're advertising. I've seen this work with my partner, with my children, with my mother-in-law. If you can understand what motivates the other person that you're speaking to, if you can understand what they need and want from you, you can talk to absolutely anybody. And you no longer will feel like you're not heard because you'll be talking to them in a language that they understand. Is that making sense for everybody? So I'm going to just whiz through these personality types. Now, I know there's a lot of personality profiling out there, but my little head works really, really fast, and some of them are 40 pages long, and it's just too much for me. So I'm just going to do it on a pack of cards. It's very, very simple. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it makes such a difference to the communication. Now, if you're a business owner, some of you here are business owners, if you're only talking in your language, you're only talking to 25% of your market. If you have a child who says, you don't understand me, well, the chances are you don't understand them because you're not talking to them in a language that they understand. If you are fast-paced like myself, and I'm talking to somebody who's a little bit slower pace, they equally can't understand me because their brain understands at the speed that they speak, they understand. So I've been told, I don't understand your accent. I don't have a particular accent, but I was going too fast for the person to process. So I've worked with some big coaches, both in the US and in the UK, and a lot of these use this when they're speaking from the stage. So anyone who wants to speak in career, this is really useful for you. But it just cascades out so magically to the real world. literally to the real world. And I'll give you some examples in a minute where it's taken away frustrations within my household. It's taken away frustrations between my son and his girlfriend. So let me just start with the first one. I'm going to start with a spade profile. Your spade is your fast person. This is normally me. On holiday, I'm a different profile, but normally in the day, this is me. So fast-paced, wants to make a decision. This is the first person that you're going to speak to if you're doing a presentation, because they are, is this right for me or not? They will make a decision and they will leave. If you're on a webinar, if you're in a presentation like this, they're making the decision. They value time more than they value relationships. They value winning over everything else. So this is your mad entrepreneur, if you like. This is the person who's going to get stuff done. They tend to stand alone. They very, very much value being a winner. They value success. They value fast decisions. They'll buy into something. If you say to somebody, if you do this, you'll get this, they're buying. They're straight in there. So the reason you speak to them first is because they get bored. They're literally... I have a terrible, terrible habit of, if anyone's ever been on YouTube, when it says skip ads and says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I press it at the 4. I know it's not going to make a difference, but one day it might. I'm that impatient. And I just press it and press it and press it, like some mad person. But that's my personality. It's not to say that you're not caring of other people, but the relationship is less value than the time. So you will find that this person is busy. They're always going to be getting back to you at some point, okay? The next person we're going to look at is the diamond profile. Now, everybody loves a diamond. This is your luxury person. This is the person who wants to have fun. They want the parties. They want everything to be amazing. They're majorly FOMO. So they absolutely can't stand missing out on anything at all. They buy a vision. So these people, they want something glorious. If I say to you, first person to this stage is going to get X prize, your diamond is the first person up here. But they are great fun. The thing with the diamond, they don't have a big attention span. They will concentrate and do something very quickly if the reward is great enough for them, and it needs to be. The luxury shoes, the lady that was up here with the Versace shoes just a minute ago is probably one of our diamonds in the room, because they want the best. And they are great if you are planning a party, if you're planning an event, they are great. However, they will not be there picking stuff up tomorrow morning. That won't be them. They'll be off onto something else different. So if it is a workplace and you were looking at this person in how to put them into your workplace, you'd put them in charge of launches, events, you'd put them in charge of, you might put them in charge of taking the team out, you'd put them in charge of the real big glossy stuff. They like working with luxury brands, they like to make sure that everybody has fun. So your diamond is the next person you're speaking to, because they, again, not got a great threshold. So they will hyper-focus and they will do it, but if it doesn't get them a result straight away, they're not interested. And if it's not a really flashy, interesting result, they're not interested. My children are all diamonds. Can you imagine my house? And actually on holiday, I'm a diamond, because on holiday, all I'm interested in is having a nice time, having the luxury. I don't want to be in charge. I'm not worried about the results, so my personality changes. So this is your top drivers. You can be more complex, but this is really just the top of the shop for you. Your next person is your club. Now, a club is, for me, probably the most frustrating person, because they want all the answers. They want to ask me a million questions. They want facts, they want figures, they want statistics. They will ask questions until they are 100% right. I'll give you an example. If I get a mobile phone, I put my mobile phone, I'll get it out, I'll plug it in, I'll speak. This person is going to read the manual, and they will keep going. The thing with a club is once you buy into your vision, they are super loyal. So my husband's a club. He tells me everything that can go wrong in my life, every single thing. The restaurant would be booked, this won't work, that won't work. And I'm like, On holiday, he turns into a different person. We're great on holiday. Real life's not so good. I'm joking. I'm married 36 years. So your club profile is the person that gets stuff done. He's the person that will actually get activities done. So in your workplace, this is the person that does the details. This is the person that does the plan. The problem with a club is they have to be right. They cannot be wrong. They have to be respected. They have to be valued. They like to be able to back all their facts and figures up. So they can come across as somebody that procrastinates a lot and doesn't make a decision because they're too scared to make a decision in case they're wrong, because then they're going to look stupid. So pairing these up, so some of you might recognize yourselves in these people and have an understanding of why you're firing up against other people in your family that have got different personality types. The final one would be your heart. Now, heart's lovely. Heart is your work mum. Your heart is the person that pulls it together. Your heart knows exactly what's going on in the family. They get everyone together for the birthday parties in the workplace. They'll get everyone together. They know when there's a problem. The heart doesn't like to miss out. The heart is all in, but they want everybody to come together. They want everyone to do everything at the same time. They want everyone to have joy in their life, and they want everybody to be valued. Now, the heart doesn't really value money. They value relationships. The club will value a relationship, but they value being right. Your diamond will value the relationship, but they value themselves above everything else. And your spade is valuing the time. So a really fun way to kind of do this. Now, I know you guys are mainly from Canada and the US, so you've maybe heard of Rick's Cafe in the Grill, where you jump off the cliff and do the dive in. I'll give you a good example. You've got 4 people here. So your diamond is gone. They've already jumped in. They don't care. They're just like, whoa, I'm in, and they're gone, okay? Your spade is going, is this the best way to do it? Am I going to get the best results? Is it worth me jumping? Is there going to be a half a fussle at the bottom? The club is over here looking for the instructions and the lifeboat. And the heart is going, come on, everybody jump together. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's all go together. And that's how they all fit together. So put your hand up if you can see your personality style. Okay, good. Now look at where this goes into real life, okay? I'm going to take business out of it because that's not where the problems start. The problem starts when you go home and you've got somebody who's a different personality to you. So I'll give you an example of my son and his girlfriend. So she's Army Cadet instructor, so she's a club. She likes all the details. She likes to know everything that's booked in, and he's a diamond. We travel quite a lot. So when they travel, she wants to know the details. She wants to know the flight. She wants to know the car park. She wants to know what seat she's sitting in. She wants to know every single detail because it gives her anxiety if she doesn't have all those details, because she has to know that nothing's going to go wrong. So she's doing that from the minute it's booked. My son is packing 5 pairs of pants, 5 pairs of socks, some swimming trunks on the morning. And this clashes them, it stresses them out completely. Now, there is a little quiz that you can do this, and last year they did the quiz and realised what they were. The understanding, I suppose, like in your partner, maybe you go on holiday and they always sleep on the left side of the bed, and that's just their thing, and you accept it. When you get this and realise that that's just their thing, her thing is she needs to have that detail. It makes her anxious. It makes her feel like he doesn't care about her. And he understood that he doesn't need that detail. He doesn't need all that detail. He can just pick up his passport and his bag and just walk to the airport and not really bat an eyelid. Caused a massive amount of friction for them for a holiday because she's like, he doesn't care about me. And he's like, God, she's just going on. She's making all this fuss over everything. But once they understood that actually that's just her thing and that's his thing, and no amount of nagging from her is going to turn him to this person, and no him ignoring her being anxious over here is going to change it, it was no big deal. It was like, okay, I know that you need that, so I'm going to give it to you. And she's going to go, okay, I know that you don't care about it, but you've given me what you want. And all of a sudden you've got some harmony in the relationship. Does that make sense? So if you have a mother-in-law that is really annoying and you recognise their profile, that maybe they're a heart profile and they don't like to miss out on anything and they want to be involved in everything, if you give them what they want, if you speak to them in their language, how much nicer does that feel? Go back to the Spanish waiter who gets excited because you've tried to speak their language. You've tried to be inclusive. It takes the friction out of everything. I know when I walk in a room, if there's a diamond, I know exactly what I'm going to get out of the diamond, and I know what commitment they're going to do. I know if I wanted to plan a big event, so I'll finish on this. If I wanted a big event in the workplace, my diamond is the person who's going to plan it. My diamond friend last year, we went to Ibiza, we had a beach party, we had champagne sprays, we had a luxury yacht with a jet ski and everything, okay? She did all that. She forgot to do any of the other details, like show the passports, show the booking form, pay the bill. So the club had to come along and pay the bill. The heart was the person who invited everybody so that we had people to be there. They all gel together. There's a place for everybody. So you've got the luxury, you've got the person who holds it together and makes sure we don't all go to jail, and you've got the person that invites the friends together. And so Then the spade can decide to turn up whether they want to or whether they don't want to, and actually they turn into a diamond when they don't have to do anything. So that's my presentation for you today. If you can follow those 4 personality styles, and if you want to go on to my LinkedIn, there is a little quiz there. I can send it to you so that you can have a little look and have some fun. But if you can apply that very, very simple things into your life, into your family, to your partners, to your workplace, then you'll find that your communication becomes a little bit more magical and a little bit easier. Thank you. Can't see the clock.